What's going on, guys? J-Bugs from J-Bugs Gaming. I was on the server and getting some questions while I was playing with some of the newer guys about zeroing scopes. They kind of seemed confused by it. They didn't know it was a thing, so I figured I'd throw together this video and I was going to post it to the server. And I realized that the patch that they just did, I could test that out real quick too, because I was spawning them in person, and I knew they'd take off after me right after I spawned them in. Chase you right off the bat. You run through a couple bushes, they'll lose sight. You can see the vision bar went down, and if you hide in a bush, they'll lose sight of you and completely lose interest. Well, not so much interest, but they'll just stand there, and they won't be able to find you again. And then, if the puppet is further than their field of view, they won't re-aggro you when you come out. But if they still can see you from their field of view, see, he just jumps back in and comes back towards you, and then you can't hide again, so you have to run again. Then I decided to take the easy way out of to take him out with pull out the 50 and shoot him in the chest. So we got ourselves up onto a high vantage point. The puppets that I spawned earlier are still sitting out there. And now you'll see when you zoom in, if you look closely, you can see my rifle is currently zeroed out at 200 meters. And I'll try to point that out some way, shape, or form so you can see where that shows that. All right. You hit the control button, you see that little spinny wheel that's going on right now? That's going to populate now. You can see the meters and you can see exactly how far away it is, the wind outside, humidity, and everything like that. So that's something that isn't explained to you in the game. You don't really find it right off the bat, and without asking the question, you'll never figure that out. So right here you can see when I zoom back in, we're still at the 200 meter zero. Now what you do is you hold shift and then scroll down on the mouse wheel. When you do that, you'll actually be able to adjust the zero. So the next time I zoom in, you'll see we're gonna adjust the 0 to 100 meters because every zombie that I've targeted so far has been between 100 and like 150. I think the furthest one was 124 or something like that. So we adjust down to 100 meters, and now everyone that's close to the 100 meter shot can be lined up in the crosshair right in the middle. And everyone that's a couple off, you just have to measure out in between the hatch marks. Each hatch mark is another 100 meters. So and now you can see me taking shots with the new zero. If I would have done it with the 200 zero, I would have been shooting over their heads if they were centered in the crosshair. So for this next one, you'll also see he's a little bit further out, and I adjust the crosshair a little bit above his head, and you'll see that the zero is pretty accurate. If you go a little bit higher, you'll actually miss the target completely. And then right after that, we get to test the new patch for the sentries. You'll get to see that they do give you a warning. But then they also seem to give you some warning shots where it fires a lot slower than their full capability. They'll wind up, and they'll go ahead and take you out. And that's where I called this video. So thanks for tuning in, and let me know if you appreciate the video by liking. If you're watching it from Facebook, please go ahead and follow the Facebook page if you got anything out of it. And if you're following from YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe. For any of the live streams that I do, you'll catch me on Facebook, and some of the highlights and shorter videos you'll also catch on Facebook. And then I like to post the full thing or some of these how-tos to YouTube as well. And we'll keep figuring that out as we go. I'm experimenting with some short form, long form, and mid form videos to see what takes off and see if we can't grow the channel. So anyway, thanks everybody that tuned in.